Hello and welcome back to my channel, Dinar and Dong Updates, Iraqi Dinar Holders. Take notice, Chase Bank introduces major policy changes, signaling a possible currency shift. For years, holders of Iraqi Dinar, IQD, have watched the global financial landscape for signs of a shift, waiting for a moment when speculation might give way to reality. As of April 30, 2025, a major U.S. financial institution, Chase Bank, has quietly rolled out critical updates to its foreign currency exchange policies, and these changes directly impact anyone looking to exchange Iraqi dinar. This isn't a rumor. This is confirmed. Internal bank policy. And for dinar holders who've been waiting for the right time to act, this might be the pivotal moment they've anticipated. The changes Chase has made, ranging from appointment-only exchanges to stricter note validation procedures, suggest that the bank is preparing for potentially significant changes in the dinar's value. Here's what you need to know. 1. Appointment-only currency exchanges are now mandatory. Chase Bank has officially transitioned to an appointment-only model for exchanging Iraqi dinar. You can no longer simply walk into a branch and expect to exchange your currency over the counter. Instead, you must contact Chase's foreign currency desk, where you'll be scheduled for a specific appointment time. This shift in procedure is being framed as a logistical improvement, but internal sources suggest there's more to it. According to those familiar with the policy updates, this change is linked to the bank's expectation of increased activity surrounding the Iraqi dinar. The term pending international rate fluctuations has been mentioned, a signal that Chase anticipates volatility, or potentially a revaluation, in the near future. 2. Stricter note. Verification standards are now in effect. In addition to requiring appointments, Chase has also implemented new and more rigorous standards for verifying Iraqi dinar notes. Under the new policy, only pristine, undamaged, and fully authenticated notes will be accepted. If your currency is torn, stained, excessively worn, or flagged as potentially inauthentic, it will be rejected outright. The bank now uses real-time scanning systems and global currency databases to confirm the legitimacy of each note. They are also cross-referencing serial numbers with international anti-counterfeiting registries. Moreover, Chase will only accept notes that are actively issued by the Central Bank of Iraq. If your currency comes from outdated or discontinued printings, it will not qualify for exchange. 3. Documentation is required, or you could be turned away. If you plan to exchange your dinar, it's no longer just about the condition of the currency. You'll also need supporting documentation that proves how and where you acquired the notes. This may include receipts from licensed currency dealers, wire transfer confirmations, purchase affidavits or transaction contracts. Without proper paperwork, even valid notes may be subject to rejection or significant delays during the authentication process. This extra scrutiny aligns with global trends aimed at increasing financial transparency and combating money laundering. Iraq, in particular, has taken steps to clean up its monetary system, and Chase's new policies reflect a growing synchronization between U.S. financial institutions and international regulatory bodies. The floating operational rate, a game-changing development. One of the most important indicators of change is Chase's introduction of a new term, the floating operational rate. This is the first time the bank has publicly associated this term with the Iraqi dinar, and its meaning is significant. A floating operational rate suggests that the exchange value of the dinar could fluctuate daily or even hourly, based on market forces. This marks a substantial departure from previous practices, where the dinar had a relatively fixed exchange rate. Such a change implies the possibility of a revaluation RV, which has long been the subject of speculation among dinar investors. Chase's use of this language indicates a move toward a more flexible, market-driven exchange system, and may signal Iraq's efforts to transition to a more globally integrated financial model. 5. Daily exchange limits are now in place. In another procedural shift, Chase has implemented a daily limit on Iraqi dinar exchanges. Each individual is restricted to no more than 5 million Iraqi dinars per appointment. While this cap may appear arbitrary at first glance, it makes sense when considering the possibility of a revaluation. If the value of the dinar rises even modestly, a 5 million dinar exchange could be worth tens of thousands of US dollars or more. This limit is a way to manage risk, prevent sudden cash outflows, and reduce exposure to fraud. Importantly, these limits could change in the future, but for now, they serve as another sign that Chase is preparing for a potential increase in exchange demand. 6. A legal disclaimer is now part of the exchange process. Chase now requires all customers exchanging Iraqi dinar to sign a legal disclosure form before finalizing the transaction. This form explicitly states that the exchange rate is subject to change at any time. The customer accepts full responsibility for the exchange. The bank assumes no liability if the rate increases after the transaction. This legal step is designed to protect the bank, but it also sends a clear message. Chase anticipates volatility in the dinar's value and wants to avoid future disputes if rates improve post-exchange. For dinar holders, this is both a warning and a call to action. You must decide whether to accept today's rate or risk missing out on potential future gains. 7. Iraq's economic developments support a more stable currency. These changes are not happening in isolation. Iraq itself has made considerable strides in stabilizing and modernizing its economy. New trade agreements with countries like Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and the European Union. Active pursuit of membership in the World Trade Organization, WTO. Expansion of oil-backed financial deals, boosting fiscal reserves, enhanced transparency in its banking sector, and currency reform initiatives. These are not the moves of a struggling nation. Rather, they are signs of a country positioning itself for global reintegration and potentially for a stronger, more valuable national currency. 8. Risk versus reward. Should you exchange now or wait? If you're holding Iraqi dinar, the big question is this: do you exchange now or wait for a possible revaluation? Exchanging now guarantees the current rate. It's safe, simple, and final. But you may miss out on significant profits if the dinar's value increases shortly afterward. Waiting, on the other hand, could yield higher returns, but it comes with serious risks. Appointments may become harder to secure. Banks could temporarily pause all exchanges during a rate shift. Future policy updates could impose tighter restrictions or require additional verification. Your notes might become non-exchangeable if policy changes tighten standards further. Ultimately, your decision comes down to your risk tolerance and financial goals. Either way, preparation is essential. 9. How to prepare for a successful exchange. To avoid delays or being turned away altogether, take these proactive steps now. A. Inspect your notes. Ensure every note is in excellent condition. Avoid folds, tears, smudges, or writing. Store notes in protective sleeves to preserve quality. B. Gather documentation. Locate your proof of purchase. This includes dealer receipts, transaction records, affidavits or verification letters. These documents will support your claim and help authenticate your notes. C. Verify your currency. If you purchased your dinar through unofficial sources, like online auction sites, street vendors, or unlicensed dealers, get it verified through a licensed currency dealer. Chase is increasingly rejecting dinar obtained without proper vetting. D. Schedule an appointment. Call your local Chase branch and ask to be directed to the foreign currency exchange desk. Confirm the latest policies and get on the calendar. Appointment slots may be limited. Stay informed. Subscribe to trusted financial news outlets or dinar-focused updates. Avoid hype and conspiracy theories. Use only verified official information to guide your decisions. 10. Be cautious of scams and misinformation. With increased attention on the dinar, scams are also on the rise. Be especially wary of anyone offering insider exchange rates, early access, or promises of guaranteed returns. Chase will not accept dinar that lacks official proof of purchase, has serial numbers flagged on international fraud lists, was acquired from suspicious or undocumented sources. Protect yourself by dealing only with legitimate, regulated financial institutions. Conclusion: a rare window of opportunity may be opening. For the first time in years, solid policy changes are replacing speculation. Chase's decision to implement an appointment system, impose exchange limits, validate notes through global databases, and introduce legal disclaimers, all at once, suggests that something bigger may be underway. It's not just a procedural update. It's a strategic alignment with global financial standards, possibly anticipating a shift in the Iraqi dinar's role on the world stage. This doesn't mean a revaluation is guaranteed, but the indicators are growing stronger, and they're backed by action, not rumor. If you hold Iraqi dinar, now is the time to get organized, verify your holdings, schedule your exchange, stay informed and cautious. Whether you decide to exchange now or wait, make your decision based on facts, not fear. And remember, being